whatsoever. And then we'll keep doing this to and fro. Of course, on live television become difficult. Let me try to get Ashish Pandey in. Ashish ji, right decision to release everything into the public domain.
Rishabh, am I audible to you?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Go ahead, sir.
See, as you rightly pointed out, what we are facing is the crisis of perception, crisis of credibility. And then you ask the question how we counter that, how we answer. As an institution, judiciary, how can the question be answered for the general public? There are two ways. First is accountability and the transparency. So as far as all the reports, all the Chief Justice report, the letter written by, the answer written by the accused judge, they have been placed on record and everyone can visit the website of Supreme Court of India. They can see what is going on. So that answers the question of transparency. What is left to be seen is how do we deal with the question of accountability? You see, there are many questions unanswered. That's why I'll be very careful in choosing my words. You say, we are debating that 15 crores cash has been recovered. We presume at least somewhere someone must have counted, if not officially, unofficially, how much cash was there. Who was that person? And when you posed a question to Mr. Singh, he said because there is a constitutional protection for higher judiciary, you cannot register an FIR against the judges. You see, I have a different perspective. Suppose a crime has taken place within the house of a judge. A judge may not be named in that FIR.
So, unknown person's FIR could have been registered. Okay.
That does not absolve the police the responsibility from registering an FIR in which the judge may not be accused, but at least the investigation could have been proceeded. The question of seizure of the money and counting the money is still open. Why that didn't take place? So there comes the question of accountability. Even if long run, as Mr. Singh pointed out, there may not be very much credible evidence against the judge because we don't have, even if we don't know what has happened, what the police has done. So it has to be seen what happens on the legal front, but the question of accountability will remain open, even if not for the judge, then the officers, those who are present at the site. Rishabh.
That's exactly the conundrum. It's called Sophie's choice. You can think of all sorts of English terminologies for it, Mr. Pandey, but that's exactly the issue, because the judge he literally himself is a judge of the High Court, right? So he is obviously sat down and sat with an advisor or anybody who's a well-wisher and said, okay, what is the evidence before me? The evidence is that when the registrar came to visit the site, there was no cash. There is no panchnama, there is no report.
This is what is written in his reply. He is saying even my PS was not showed the cash which was there.
Yeah, so he says nobody has made a record. There is no police report that says cash. There is no fire service report that says cash. Nobody mentioned any cash. When I visited, there was no cash. So there is only some grainy footage which shows cash, which cannot even show how much cash. How do you, on the basis of footage, calculate cash? So,
Rishabh, the next question is, it's not as if the video which is being circulated on social media is only on social media. No, that is official video.
Yes, which has official. Been placed. So there are, for people watching the broadcast, there are other videos. There is at least one other video of the day after or 2 days after, showing debris lying outside the storage room. This video we are not using because I can't vouch for its authenticity.
When someone was there to record the video, there could have been other procedures which could have been adopted to record the evidence digitally. You mentioned now we have different laws, so the digital evidence has been given much more priority. So there were ways.
I mean, I can only think of aphorisms at this horses.
I'm choosing my words very carefully because
like I said, all I can think of aphorism is because we have the aphorism of the horse is already bolted. Okay, what had to happen has already happened. There are lots of problems here. I can vouch on the reality that I've never seen such transparency from the Supreme Court with such post haste. It's never happened before.
This is very good.
But you have to see from the people's point of view. Okay, they are thinking that the first information did not come from officialdom. It came from a print broadsheet. It was not an announcement by the court or the judge or the police. Okay, so unless the print broadsheet had published it, Maybe we wouldn't have known. How do I answer that question? Because there is no answer. There is no factual answer, because that is speculative. If this had not been published on Friday morning, would we be seeing the disclosure of the evidence on Saturday evening? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Then it's the 7 days between the 14th and the 21st. Okay, now you can explain away the timeline, because it exists on record that on so and so day the registrar was asked on the telephone. He went within the same day. So by all means, you responded rapidly, taking seriousness and cognizance of this. But at the same time, if the police did not seal the spot and recover and count the cash, what do we do now? We are stuck. Massive, massive conundrum.